Treat it. Sorry. That's what it used to be. Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome to Sister Sit Down
With Sandra.
and Jane.
Ooh, I'll be getting the cues.
Welcome back to the very first episode where we're gonna just have an actual sisterly conversation.
Yeah, now welcome back. Welcome back. But yeah, this is our first
Real sit down.
actually talking. Yeah.
I'm gonna steal some of this.
We've purposely literally not talked about anything since we've gotten here. We're actually, I feel like I'm in need of like actual chat. So
Like an actual catch up.
yeah, we're gonna try our best to like literally just sit down and talk to you guys. Well, talk to each other. You just happen to be here.
Literally. Just converse.
We're gonna have to dissect later.
Where do you want to start? Just like how our weeks
Yeah,
have been.
so
what
how,
you've been.
exactly, literally how are you doing? How has your week been? What are you thinking, feeling lately?
Lately, what has Jane been up to? I already told you that I'm shopping. I'm shopping for therapists.
I thought you were gonna say men. Continue, please.
I am shopping for therapists. It honestly feels kind of like dating. I'll be honest. Like
It really is.
I've done one intake interview, and then I set up. I think I have like 3 or 4 coming up. Like just till intake is like 15 minutes. Like, hey, what are you looking for in therapy? Does your insurance cover me? Like, low-key, it very much feels like dating. It feels like, are we compatible? At least for me, like I know what I'm looking for in therapy.
Yeah,
and
that's what it
also,
should
like,
be.
am I compatible with this person? Like the very first intake I had almost felt like a practice round to me. I was like, we don't vibe. I don't think we are compatible as therapists. I also don't. I've only been in one therapy session in my life. Like I've done like 4 per individual therapy sessions, and so I don't even know so much if talk therapy works for me or if it's what I'm looking for. But like I want to start somewhere.
The thing is, if it is like dating, do you think it's similar in the sense of you need more time to get to know them as well? Do you think 15 minutes for intake is enough? Because if you don't mesh with someone
but like,
initially, maybe
that's what I'm saying. Like
yeah.
it's very much like dating. Like sure, but you know immediately when you meet someone,
That's
would more
actually
time
true.
build something, or is this not?
That's actually true. That's actually true.
So with the very first one, it's like this is a deal breaker. The rest of them, like I have some people. I have 2 in my mind that I'm like I think I would vibe with you the most. One of them like only does sessions.
I love that you're doing that
during the day. So like that could very much be a deal breaker. The other one is
that's like a long distance relationship, you know. You make it
but
work.
the other one is from Ghana, and I just know it's gonna be.
Yeah, I remember. Okay, you told me.
I'm gonna get waitlisted. Like she's not even accepting clients, but I emailed her and was like, hey, read your name. It's giving. You're from the same country as me, so can you please? And she said I'll do an intake session.
Good.
And we can see.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear how that one goes. Because even if you have to be waitlisted, I feel like that would be a really because
like,
where are you ever gonna
put me on the list?
Yeah, where are you ever gonna find a Ghanaian?
But to be fair, that could be hit or miss because therapists. I need someone a little bit older, and in group therapy, I've done group therapy with a woman. I think she was from Cameroon.
Really?
And it's like a balance because she was giving kind of like mommy. It's giving like you're older, but the advice you give is like rooted in Christianity and like the law. It's just like you know what I mean.
True.
But like very much like if mommy gave me that advice, I'd be like, oh thank you, mommy. But if she's a licensed therapist, I'm like, you could have given me something better than that.
That's what's interesting to me because you're always against like imagine you found an African or an African American younger therapist because you've always talked about not wanting the younger therapist.
No, but I mean
like
by young I mean like
kind
someone fresh my age. I don't need someone like my sister has a psych degree. Most of my friends are cognizant enough to hold a conversation with me and give me sage advice. I can do young like
but
30s.
I'm not licensed in like psychology like I wanted to. I'm not licensed to give you
That's
therapy.
Fine. But you can give me the same advice anyone your age would give me.
Okay, I see what you're saying now about the 30s thing because the advice that I would give
30s.
now versus 30s is one thing. But at the same time, thinking about the way my brain works now versus if I had the skills and actually went through licensing, it would be so much. It would be exponentially like the growth. So the difference between me being 28 or 29 and I finished it or right out of school versus being 30, I don't really know if that would make a difference. Versus the older generation that you're talking about is going to have that natural I don't want to say bias, but that older mentality a little bit. So I don't know. It's kind of a give or take, to be fair. Yeah.
I feel like 30s, 40s is a solid age for me. Maybe like the hip 50s.
We're still millennials though too.
And I know.
Oh brother.
But what Sandra's referencing is I had one intake therapy session, and I swear this girl was like 23. She opened her Zoom and she was in her car like, so what do you come into therapy for? And I was like. Get me off this video chat right now.
I have things to do.
And I think they only gave her to me because I'm a black woman and I'm looking for like at least the baseline. But I realized like being a black woman is not my qualifier.
Yeah.
I just need you to be here. It's not a qualifier because I can talk to white women as long as you're aware that white women kind of irritate me sometimes. So don't be annoying. So you know what I mean? Like I think it's.
I actually really struggled to do that in therapy when I had a white therapist.
But I think you have. I'm sorry. I think you're super self-aware, which is what happened to me with the very first session I took. She goes, I heard you said you're trying to be proactive about like seasonal depression. Basically, I was like, babe, I'm gonna get real sad in this coming season, so I'm trying to like get ahead of. I'm trying to find a therapist now. She's like, that's very self-aware. I'm just like, and that's why in my brain I was like, immediately no.
Yeah.
Immediately no. I was like, if you think that is the level of self-awareness, I need someone who's gonna push me.
I need someone who's gonna tell me about myself. You really do, because that's not.
You already feel. So yeah, I think with you specifically, like
that's a very dangerous.
When you talk to when you're talking to a white woman, it's like I feel like you already know a little bit more than her. Maybe I'm judging your previous therapist based on no information, but
you're right. It's definitely not even a thing of know more than the person at all, because she
opened her eyes to things.
Exactly. Like it's like a difference in maybe like awareness and experiences, and perspective, right? It's like you have studied a lot of things that add perspective to my experiences, right?
Yeah.
But my experiences were also adding to her perspective. There are a lot of things that I would give like examples of that I was going through that I could feel certain things, whether they were microaggressions in like my relationship, work, wherever I was going through, and it's like I can talk about those things, but then your licensing doesn't help me in that avenue. Mm-hmm. Like your license, my experience, it doesn't work both ways. It's like a square is a rectangle, but a rectangle square kind of thing. Like your education can add perspective to my experience, but my experience will never help to expand your education.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? Does that make sense? I love when my thoughts are so jumbled, but you just get it because I'm like.
That's a very beautiful way to put it.
Yeah, because I didn't ever feel like I ever knew more than her. It just felt like there's things that I'm trying to explain to you that I just know you're giving me the best advice that you can, but you're not seeing the nuances in what I am going through. But then that's another part of therapy that I love, because it's like a therapist is not supposed to help, is not supposed to guide. They're supposed to guide you. Exactly. They're supposed to give you the tools to figure it out on your own. But then a part of me is also annoyed because I'm like, as a therapist, you should be
because
all encompassing. I just need you to be aware.
Answer my question. Tell me what I should do.
Yeah. But that's not what therapy's about, though. Yeah.
I know that's not what it's about.
It's just supposed to guide you to fill the gaps. Be serious.
I know that what they're gonna tell me is like, I'm here to help you figure out the answer for yourself. I'm gonna be like, listen here, Sharon, what should I do tomorrow?
You know the problem? Not even the problem. The thing about you is we always talk about this. You have like the initial natural feeling. And you struggle with the steps afterwards. You know what I'm saying? Because earlier when you talked about therapy and talking about just knowing right away when you say something in your therapist, it just doesn't vibe. I never always had that. It would just feel like, that didn't feel great. But the longer I think about it, then I'm like, okay, that's why that didn't feel great.
Because I think therapy is such a vulnerable experience that it can honestly be such a detriment if you have someone who's not compatible with you in the way that you like, you know what I mean? So I'm like if I feel in a 15-minute intake session that this isn't gonna work, it doesn't matter why or how, I'm just gonna roll with that.
No, that's true.
And even she said,
but also you have to. It's like even talking about it in the relationship sense. Even if it's not gonna work past the intake, that's a really good perspective to have. But once you find the person you're compatible with, you still have to do the work after that on the outside. So you still have to take the steps after that.
I know.
To like basically do the work. You know what I'm saying? They don't know your life story. They talk to you for an hour a week at max.
But they should only figure it out though.
Yeah. Well, they can, but they also have 50 other.
That's crazy. I hope they have bullet journal tabs in my section.
I was literally just talking to one of my friends who's like, she's been in therapy for 2.5 years.
I don't understand that though. Isn't the goal of therapy to stop? Is that mean? Like, isn't there an end?
I'm starting to feel both. There's like a middle ground, right? Okay. The point of therapy, yes, is to not need therapy, but also therapy is not just for the people that need it, right? Like therapy is also good for people therapy is good for everyone, I genuinely think. Because we're so in our head a lot of the time, especially in this individualistic country. Like there's so many things where we just internalize and try to figure out on our own. It really helps to have someone who's licensed and understands cognition to kind of like guide and help you navigate the things that you're going through.
Yeah.
So I do think there's a weird line when you're in therapy for your whole life.
But I'm talking specifically about talk therapy, because how long can you just talk to someone? Some people have the same therapist for decades. But some people have
deep trauma that takes a long time to like unravel. I see what you're saying, because it
no,
does get weird.
Sense,
but like, sometimes I hear people are in therapy for like 5-10 years, and it's like, what have you been talking about all this time? And how is your therapist even, like, you're friends at that point, you're buddies.
Yeah,
like, how is your therapist is just, you're just consistent income. You're just like a stable client at this point. You know what I mean? You're a contractor. You're a 1099 contractor, because it's like, you've been here for so long. It's like, there's no, I don't know. I don't even, it feels weird, like, it feels a little judgy to think about that situation like that, but it's like, how long at that point?
I read Viola Davis's memoir. I don't know if I'm misplacing this, and this is actually not from her book at all, but I swear she said she had the same therapist for 10 years. And having read her memoir,
makes sense.
You know, like, I understand that.
Oh shit.
But I'm talking about
based on like the things she's been through.
Just like she's been through a lot.
Oh,
like
shit,
you basically need that relationship with someone, so you don't have to explain again how you.
That's so
and then
true,
it's almost
yeah.
also like, because you've been talking for this X amount of time, like, they've kind of grown with you in their therapy.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And your experiences. But I said that to say, like, isn't
therapy for a long time.
Isn't the point of, like, not so much to stop therapy altogether, but like you get to a space where you can almost handle X amount of experiences on your own, and then you kind of just check back in.
That's
like,
exactly what
happened.
it is.
This is what I did.
That's why I'm like, it's not that crazy if you've been in it for like 5 years, but you're only seeing them once a week.
Yeah.
It's not even the same as like being in a 5-year relationship. You're like, I had therapy literally twice a week. That felt like a lot at some point, because I wasn't.
Twice a week?
Yeah, I wasn't actively. No, I had it once a week.
Yeah, you had it
once I wasn't going.
I had it every 2 weeks.
I wasn't going through exactly. That's all.
I was like, by the time I saw her the next session, I said, this is not enough time.
No, literally.
So much has
once a week at some point. Once I got, it felt like going up a hill, and then once I finally hit the pinnacle of what I had to consciously recognize that I was kind of going through at the time, and then dealt with it. It felt like there was a downhill of like, okay, seeing you once a week is just like, I'm just catching you up on what happened this week, and I'm not even thinking anything. There's nothing going on that I need to talk to you about. It's not like talking to you or like my friends, or if I haven't talked to you all week, it's like, when I see you, there's a lot to talk about. But with my therapist, there's nothing I'm actively going through necessarily.
Did you see her in person or?
No, I never even met her.
I feel like all of therapy is virtual now.
Yeah,
like
a lot of it. No, there are some that are meeting.
And that's an added layer of like, what I'm, because I need to be able to like feel like I can be vulnerable with the personality, whatever you're giving through that screen.
You have to be vulnerable with the camera. That's the weird thing.
And I'm just like,
but there is an aspect of like,
I also don't want to see myself. Why should I have to see myself when I'm talking to you?
Well, turn the client. You can always turn that off. That's something that I used to do as well. Actually, turn mine off. Sometimes I'm like, I look crazy. I would turn my camera on. No, not my camera off, but I would move my screen so that I'm off the screen. Yeah, because it would distract me. Yeah. It's like when I'm on FaceTime. Sometimes I'll switch the screen to look at myself because do I look crazy? But then I had to check myself. I'm on with the therapist. Yeah. I'm about to be boohoo crying in 5 minutes when she asks the question I don't want to answer. So it literally does not even matter. Yeah. There is an aspect of it though where post-COVID, a lot of I just met with a client actually who was talking about this. Like post-COVID, a lot of people want to meet with their therapist in person. They want to have that personal interaction, but it's hard because now you have therapists literally all across the globe who are just taking clients literally wherever, whenever. But
it's weird because it's still regional. Like when I look up at there, it's still like who's in your area. But I'm just like, if I'm gonna meet you on Zoom, why do I need to be in the area? I mean, I guess insurance.
Well, out of network insurance, yeah.
Why can't I have access to the whole state then?
No, I don't.
Okay, what?
I love that girl.
Let's give something.
What, you want some?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I might finish it.
That's okay.
Okay, good. I'm glad you said that.
I was hoping you finished it because I'm not taking it back.
Ew. Imagine you had one
No, I'll literally be so big.
One small
melted and refrozen ice cream up. Just eat it, please.
You're so. It's crazy growing up. I literally thought I was so OCD, and you're actually worse than me.
Oh, I am. No, I am. My favorite thing is meeting a man that is a clean freak. Like, I can't even, like, when they're cleaner than me, I want to be like, oh, I should put my cup on a coaster, but then in my brain, I'm like,
I could rap. I could shake.
You clean up under your fingernails, huh?
Yo!
Makes me sick. Okay, how's your week been going? We just discussed therapy. What have you been up to in your brain?
This week has been, kind of quiet at work.
Oh, work.
Yeah, very quiet, exactly. But it's been nice. I've needed it, to be fair. I've needed, like, a quiet week, and I'm about to go on basically vacation, like, just
Yeah,
reset by myself, just kind of think, and I genuinely need it. But I want to be intentional about this trip as well. That's the weird thing.
I'm actually so proud of you. I think this is necessary.
It is necessary. I'm scared shitless.
You're ready.
And
I hope you meet your husband. I hope you meet the career you're gonna marry.
Amen.
I was about to joke,
but
your career. Hope you meet your whatever.
No, honestly, I was about to be funny about that, but deadass, amen to that, because I feel like I very much need to be productive. Like I feel like I'm in a shift where things need to change in my life, but I don't know where to start. Do you know what I mean?
Can we share this?
What do you mean? Sure.
What we're doing.
This trip?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sandra's going to Afrotech.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know you were gonna go into details.
That's not detail. That was literally, can I say what's happening?
I thought you were just gonna say I'm going to Austin.
Oh.
Yeah, well, I am going to Afrotech, and we're not editing these, so we've already put it out there.
I'm sorry.
Please, now stop.
But if you're her husband, she's approximately 5'10". I hope she's wearing heels.
The way Jane is every day trying to sell me off.
Bro, you should see me. I'll be in. I wish we weren't in such a car-centric society.
You're the one that wants a boyfriend.
I want a husband.
Oh, that's facts.
Thank you. But yeah.
I mean, me too, but not right now.
It's so weird because you know how people say like, you find a man when you're least expecting him. Me, I'm always expecting him. Anywhere I go.
I know.
Everywhere
I'm like, oh, what if
right?
What if he was here?
But now I feel like I'm actually like I say I'm ready for boyfriend. I'm not trying to wait. I would have in the past. Like I'm not dating. When was the last time?
Literally.
You know what I mean? But
I'm still my Hinge again.
I don't. This thing is when he said that to me, I didn't even clock it. Not that I didn't clock it, but I was like, yeah, of course he did. Because I went through that phase too. Every day I said, I'm done. I'm done with this app, and I'd be back.
No, low key, you're right though, because that's what I'm scared of this time.
No, but Hinge is actually messed up.
It's fucked up.
Because I think whenever Hinge did whatever change they did, that's when we both got in our dating phase.
That's the only thing making me consider what you're saying about Bumble, but I just cannot bring myself to do it. But Hinge is actively pissing me off. So that's what I'm actually scared of, the fact that I am actually in a phase where I'm like, I actually don't really want a boyfriend. Like, I'm not ready for a boyfriend right now. I do still go into places, I'm like, what if my husband was here?
But people approach you, bro, so that's
But it really makes me like... Yeah is the perfect word, where I'm like, it does make me a little awkward, but it's like, it also somewhat pulls me out of my shell small by small.
But that's what you need, because
that's what I need, exactly.
The kind of man that you would be with in the end is the kind of man that would approach you. So when someone approaches you, if they're the kind of, if you vibe, not just anybody, if you then
I'm fucking crying, literally.
Maybe just pithy your buddy a little bit. Just, hello, sir.
No, you're right. And it's the same thing with friends, too, because I've been thinking, like, there's so many times where we talked about this compliment-wise, where I'll talk to girls or, like, say something nice to a girl, or a girl will compliment me, and it just ends at that, where I'm like, this is exactly why God made me how I am, because these experiences, I need to be able to take advantage of them, but I go in my shell and get like, okay, thank you, and then I'm like, let me go this way.
I think something that I've had to like learn the hard way is realizing other people are nervous too. Mm-hmm. Like I will literally sit through an entire first date and be like, oh, I did it. Literally. I'm just like, they were scared out of their brain.
Do you get nervous on dates?
Not on dates anymore.
Yeah, I don't get nervous on dates.
I literally think that's my presence is a privilege.
Period.
That's the advice I give my friends when they're stressed under. I'm just like, that's a boy.
They're lucky to be there, yeah.
Like,
think about it. It's basically a raps.
It's okay.
It's not even a
I didn't even say I said, I don't know why you're doing that.
That's basically an avatar.
I promise you it's not that serious. Have a good time, though.
I love how you give advice so casually, but when it's you, hypocrites.
Yeah.
They would be sitting there.
No, I said I wasn't a hypocrite. I never claimed to be otherwise.
For real. Be for real.
Thank you. Yeah, I have no idea.
No, but yeah,
but
honestly,
I haven't been dating in a while.
You haven't?
So work is okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, work has been literally chill as fuck this week. But it's been nice. I'm woefully unprepared for Austin, but
that's okay. Like
I feel like that's what I do best.
You don't work exactly. You
yeah.
don't work in tech. You don't like literally just. But guys, I'm here. I'm curious. I want to.
I just gotta go there and be safe. That's it.
Yeah.
And what I do best, spend money impulsively, and then I'm gonna have to come back and save. Don't get on me about that. We can skip that topic. Thank you.
Have you started the book, Mommy?
No, you have to give it to me.
literally did give it to you. That's
no.
book cover.
That's what I'm taking on the plane.
For my book club.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's what I'm taking on the plane.
I was like, why are you yelling at me?
Yeah, that's what I'm taking on the plane.
Yeah.
Because I realized I can't, movies and shit don't do anything for me. The way that 11-hour flight flew past me when I was reading Colleen Hoover coming back from London.
Which,
Is it, which one is first? It ends with us or loves with us?
It
Yeah,
ends
it ends with us is first. I remember it's something that's weird that's backwards, but
second.
I literally, he had to buy me the second, no, we had to get the second book at the airport.
Did you
because
read
I was
the second
like, yes, I read the first one
the
while we
second
were
one
in.
was such a waste. She only wrote that because TikTok said,
Forced her to. Yeah,
I was
exactly.
like,
But either way, once I finished the first one, I was like,
I could have.
Come on now.
Without this.
no, you couldn't.
I could have.
You're part of book TikTok.
She
Book
follows
talk.
me.
You're lying.
We're mutuals. I can sign.
Are you dead ass?
I'm so serious. I know she follows me because a fake account followed me and I said, you guys got my hopes up, and then she followed me, and then she kind of fell off. She fell off after everyone was like, she's just a white woman with. I think her kids did some problematic stuff. I'll be honest.
Damn.
I'm not gonna say what's.
That's crazy. That's crazy though. That she follows.
But this is my thing about.
She's done in there.
Because I know. Because I love books. I think about books I read as a kid, but I don't ever want to know about authors.
Yeah.
That's all messed up. Like
No, I get that actually.
And maybe that's like what people say about like artists
And
like,
celebrities.
I want to separate the artist from the artistry.
But they be problematic.
If a middle-aged white woman wrote 20 million, like, come on, guys, look at J.K. Rowling now. Like, of course she's a little. She's very problematic. But she gave you Harry Potter, and when you were 11, you weren't sitting here.
Here's the thing, though.
It's
It's not about them just being problematic. It's like, are you willing to change it, right? Because it's like, you can't help the fact that you're a white woman in America.
And you just had ample time to write an entire novel.
Yes. But it's like, are you willing to, we're all changing, we're all like learning, right? I can't imagine, the white women in today's age are pissing me off.
Oh,
okay?
what just happened? I'm so sorry. I don't want to spiral into
No,
book
we
talk.
can spiral.
But there's a very popular book, Fourth Wing.
No,
Everyone's read it. Of course you haven't, but like anyone who reads books has heard of it.
Bitch, I read books.
Sandra, this woman, apparently, I didn't even see the original thing, but apparently she said something like anti-Palestine. And then she tried to backpedal, but the backpedaling was very like neutral stance. And then now I'm wondering, I want to see what's going to happen next on Book Talk. Anyway, I don't want to get into that.
Oh, brother. What was her post? What did she say?
I don't know. I don't follow. Well, again, because I do not follow authors. I don't care about your lives.
Literally.
Shh. Please. Please, I'm begging.
Actually, no.
But it was very her novel is essentially dystopian. It was very much in line with people were talking about like it's so weird for these white women to write these. Hey guys, like let me just come up with a fictional world in which white people are oppressed. White people are oppressed, but let it come to real life. And then all of a sudden living.
Then all of a sudden, hands up.
They said, guys,
I don't know nothing.
Nice.
I was not here for that.
No, but I actually. Okay, no, this is what I want to talk about.
I was gonna say.
This is the conversation about what is going on in Palestine that I really want us to get into. Right? Did you see what happened with? Because when this initially happened, I was like, guys, no one in my actual life is talking about this. It started off with a bunch of celebrities talking about this, and I'm just like, guys,
that's winding me up too.
And this is another thing where I'm just like, people need to separate the idolization they put on these celebrities. Because every single, like some celebrities that said some things, jarring, it took me back. Like,
I should have shut the fuck up forever.
But at the end of the day, because even on that, there was a list of like 400 celebrities that wrote, did they write to Biden? Who did they write that letter to?
I don't, to Biden, whatever. To Congress or whatever.
But like even the celebrities of color, but they're all in some way tethered to a Jewish person. Like, most of the people on that list were Jewish.
If you think about the fact that even someone like Obama, all of our presidents...
A war criminal?
all of our presidents in line. So what would we expect of our celebrities?
It's literally
what would we expect?
But to me, it's such a...
Colored or not.
It is, exactly. Because to me, it's like, this just goes to show that this has nothing to do... It's very much like who has power and who doesn't.
Who has
it's
money
very
and
much
who
because
doesn't.
Why are all of these celebrities rallying? When I tell you... Look at your friends, look at the masses, look at the general consensus that this is wild. This is quite, we're watching people die.
When you literally get to the point of, I've seen TikToks of influencers who don't even have thousands of followers, literally getting emails of, I've seen your stance on Palestine, we'll offer you this amount to go on live and say this about Israel. It's like, when you recognize the chokehold that like white supremacy has on this country, the chokehold that money when I saw a chart that showed how much like Biden's funding for the election and how much Israeli or like Zionist organizations, of course he's sitting there saying, I don't know if the Palestinians are being honest about that. Shut the fuck up forever. I don't even mean that as a threat, but God, I need to figure out how to not cuss on this thing.
I was gonna say
because
you just did a great job not cussing.
Because literally, are you? This is not even the way we should have dissected. Because are we actually okay? I seriously keep grasping the fact that we are the first generation to.
We're watching it.
Literally, the same. I'm about to cuss again.
Are we the same? What do you mean?
I was about to say the same phones that we're on, right? Scrolling every day, numbing our brains on social media all day. The same phones being created by a genocidal violence in Congo.
But to live in
the same phones,
to sit
we
here
cannot
and live
even
as we're
humble
living
ourselves to
someone
speak up
else's
and talk.
time.
It's crazy.
Which is so. I'm so sorry.
Is
Just
that
to jump
weird?
back into dystopian, we want to talk about us and Jordan Peele. For you to live the life that you're living, someone else is suffering.
Is dying.
And
So
it's like,
of
it's just, they want to continue living this way. All of us are living in a luxurious
It's selfishness,
life for this.
It really is. If you really think about it, it's selfishness, because it's like for people who are lower to middle class, middle to low class, to give up $4,000, $5,000, $10,000 to say this is literally inhumane. But these celebrities would rather still eat off of our backs and still take a little bit more of a sponsorship to sell your soul.
Exactly. Their money is
Their
tied
money
to
is
me
different.
saying,
Literally.
Yes,
No,
guys.
no. We can absolutely fuck all the way off because it's crazy. And this is what I was saying earlier. It really is blowing my mind to think about the fact that our generation grew up on social media. At least when this was happening, South Africa, all these other places, right? Our parents, needless of what was going on, did not have the access to it that we did. Even when you look at what's going on in Congo and Sudan, right?
Yeah.
Not only is there much more of a global reckoning to like suppress what's going on, they don't have the access or the privilege to have phones showing their rapes, their brutality, their violence. Even something to be as insanely imbalanced in Palestine, where it's 50% kids. That means the majority of these people are adolescents. I've seen young 20, 19, 21-year-olds journaling as if you would think they're 25, 27. Do you know what I'm saying? Journaling, knowing, I watch this one girl who literally starts her videos every single day like, hey, it's Basan, I still alive, blah, blah, blah. Like that. I had to literally restart one of her videos because it literally gave me chills. It's jarring to have to think every day you might not be here. They don't even have electricity to start these videos. You're just... Come on now.
And literally, I think it's wild because this has been going on for decades, and the
drastic nature
of like
this
everyone knows. Everyone knows.
And to still be sitting and watching it, this has been going on for almost 80 years.
But so
to get to this inflection point and still be like,
because all of these politicians, all of these celebrities, all of these people in positions of power that have been like backing this with their money, with their stance, have been doing it for decades. This is how they felt for decades.
That's why they're confused.
So, like Biden is probably sitting there like,
what's going on?
This is what everyone has done. Like I guarantee they're shaking in their boots.
And what's crazy about Biden also, genocide Biden, he's been sitting in office. He's been in politics his whole life.
Elections are next year.
Obama's literally. He was Obama's VP. So this is what he's done his whole time. Now that he's at the top of it, and he has to actually speak, he's like, I'm just literally saying right now.
Are we
and
not
we're
getting
all
a new
like,
candidate? What is that? Was that a book?
I hope not. Was it?
Was linked.
Don't scare me like that. This is crazy, guys. I'm actually drinking wine today.
Yeah,
so
I'm drinking kombucha. So you're gonna get all of this.
You're gonna get a lot of real and raw. But no, yeah, literally, he's just like, he's at the point where he has to speak not only for himself, but like he's just saying what he's used to. So it's like he's confused why he's getting this reaction, but that goes back to our point of like we're at the first inflection point of us all actually being able to see this. So it's literally insane to see this has been going on for so long, and they're at the point where Israel's ready to finish it, literally finish it, and we get to watch it.
That sounds.
We literally have to watch it, and people are still like, it's been weird as fuck to me that
but
this
what
is not
do
a
you
conversation.
mean? Can I be honest? What do you mean by you have to watch it, right? Because for me, this is the same conversation that we had during BLM that we've had in previous things. Because for me, I don't need to see a a bloody child to believe what is going on.
You don't.
Like, I can be well informed on the situation without having to.
Of course.
You know?
But the thing is, you shouldn't have to see it to care, right? But I feel like we're in a space and time where, same thing with the BLM stuff, it's like, obviously as a black person, I don't need to see those things. I care enough about those issues to have done the research.
But I also don't think anyone needs to see them. You need to see a black man be, you know what I mean?
I don't think anyone needs to see them, but I think there's so much of a difference in terms of pushing people and mobilizing people who are not in that affected community to action. Look at how much we're actually seeing, and still some people are like,
I think it's wild.
Do you know what I mean?
I think it takes a certain level of cognitive dissonance. I just saw a clip of
cognitive dissonance is the perfect
of Issa Rae. Andy Cohen asked Issa Rae, "How much do you care about this showmance between Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce?" And Issa said, "I could not care less." Something along those lines. And I was thinking about all of the white women on my TikTok, my Instagram, people from my small town or college, like,
girl,
that are posting about Taylor Swift's goddamn
the amount of people
relationship about her movie, and I haven't heard of. And these are like the liberal white women, the white women that have something to say about everything. They'll talk about autism till
the ones that are
to the ground. They'll talk about
everything, women's rights, abortion.
But this week is all about Taylor Swift and the heirs.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, the cognitive dissonance is such a perfect word for it, because it's like,
and you know she's not gonna say
something. It shows so much to have for those people to have to literally. Oh, now me forgetting y'all are here. I'm about to take my brassiere off. It takes a level of like. Yeah, to say audacity. Yeah, it's like, I understand that you don't have to see those dead bodies, but there are people who are seeing those dead bodies and still posting about Taylor Swift. So it's like, it shows a certain level of like, lack of empathy, lack of like awareness, lack of care. Just show me how. Just say I do not give a fuck. Just say what.
I need you to watch your language. We're trying to be
oh my God.
available.
I know.
Actually, this is not an episode that can be available. We're literally talking about it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna cuss anymore,
But that's been what I've been grappling with.
Do you see what I'm saying? It's like, I don't personally need to see that.
How do you do it?
During BLM, I did not.
I definitely did not. I have never seen a single video of anything that ever happened to
I still cannot watch them, but it's like,
ever.
If we can still watch them and start to force ourselves to be numb.
But this is the thing. You shouldn't, because there's a certain, those videos should exist in a courtroom. Like, I don't think anyone, black, white, I don't think anyone should see those videos to believe it.
It's not about believing it.
But there's a level of, what's the word I'm looking for? In this situation, it might be a little different, but there's a level of desensitization it takes for you to watch that. Why are you sitting on your phone and watching that?
I agree with that, but there's also a level of exposure that is exposed, that is brought to light when you can put this stuff at the forefront and people can still say, regardless of desensitization,
in this case, it's a little different,
regardless of being fearful, you can still see this and recognize it. You cannot argue that the evidence is not there. You cannot argue that the resources are not there for you to educate yourself. So there's a level of exposure that's happening when all of that is accessible to you and you're still choosing to ignore it. Fuck if you don't pay attention to what's going on in the courtrooms. There's people who now, even after Black Lives Matter, don't know the depravity that goes on, the callousness of police brutality across the world. Meanwhile, people were mobilized across the globe to protest, right? I didn't have to see people die in the streets because I know what happens in our communities. I see what happens and I still had to educate myself further. Yeah. But some people have to see that to even get to tip the scale to start to understand or start to look into it. And even then, we can watch this happen in front of our eyes and people will still be posting Taylor Swift. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you may not have to see it.
Yeah.
But some people need to be able to see. I've had to watch the fact that this stuff is all... I literally will get out of a business meeting. I'm like, getting on and just seeing what the fuck's going on, looking for updates from people that I know that are there, young people that I know that are there, and showing updates just to even see if they're still alive. So it's like, you cannot convince yourself that this is not going on, and if you are, that says more about you. It's eerie the amount of silence in
But it's not a social media. And social media is not even. This is not a conversation. I outside of my friends that is being held in real life. Maybe it's because I go to work and I come home.
Same, yeah. Nobody's having this conversation at work besides for maybe when I make a comment. But like, even with my friends, I agree with you. My friends aren't having this conversation, and it's weird to me. It's weird. I'm having to like distance. I'm literally having. We've talked about this before.
On the same page, please.
I'm having to like retreat. I feel like not even this situation has been like almost the tip of the iceberg. But I've literally I feel like I'm having to retreat from the acquaintances. Yeah, the acquaintances that I've had around me, because it's like quite literally, you're an enemy of progress. How do you watch this kind of thing? I feel like I want to change the world.
And this is just what I was about to say to you, right? Because I think there's a level of you that holds enough knowledge but also empathy to like better people. But some of them could be, you know what I mean? Do I need to say?
You know what I struggle with? No, you don't have to, because I know what you mean. Do you know what I struggle with though? Is being able to, because you know me, I will think about something long enough, and then once I've made my mind up, then I draw the line, right?
Yeah.
But the mistake I've been making, not even the mistake, I've been trying to be less afraid of like confrontation, trying to be more open with people and say what I'm feeling earlier on. But that, I'm realizing, leaves the room open for people to gaslight me a little bit. Like if I'm not firm, to fill it with exactly. So if it's like if I'm not firm in why I'm leaving the situation, if the situation is literally just I don't feel right about this, I don't feel good, I just feel like it's a situation where I need to retreat.
But that's the advice.
Because I don't want to have the conversation. I can't have the conversation because that leaves, like I'm saying, that leaves it open for people to convince me otherwise.
What's your process that you think until you know, and then you do it?
I think, but I'm changing it from, instead of think, and then I just do it.
Yeah.
Like I've done in the past. I think, based on what my gut is telling me, and then I just act.
Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like I act, if it's serious enough where I need to bring it up, I'm gonna bring it up naturally. But it's like this situation feels gray enough where I'm like, I just need to retreat. I can't put into words to you that
the way you're behaving doesn't feel right to me.
It just doesn't vibe with me. Like I see friendships so, like your friends should have similar values, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm not going to tell you what you should be posting, what you should care about, what you should be speaking about, right? But it's like the fact that you're not says a lot to me, right?
A part of me also just knows in my brain, like, there's certain people that can't go with you everywhere that you want to be in life.
Can't.
So think all you want, but I also need you to assess and apply a certain level of discernment in terms of where, and this is what you can do in Austin.
Yeah.
But like, think about the place that you want to be. And some people might not be where, and we say this all the time about friendship. Some people might not be where you are or where you are at present, and they may never be. But they're people that will be in your lives. Versus like the place that you want to be, can these people even like be with you at all?
And that's what's hard, because it's
and some of them need to be cut.
That's what's hard,
because decide that for yourself, because I can't tell you that. No one can tell you that.
That's what's hard, because I'm like, I don't know where I want to be. I can just feel that my purpose in life. Exactly. I can just feel that my purpose in life. The people around me are not going to help me do that. The people around me are not even going to be able to be with me there. So that's the purpose of me feeling like I need to just retreat. It doesn't even warrant a conversation necessarily. Like some of them can be conversations, but I need to retreat because I can't, like, you have to get there on your own.
I can't. Where you are right now, because it's very much like, think about the person I was when I was just
cut, literally snip. Yeah.
It's like, okay, you're doing too much.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a
but it works because I genuinely have some friendships.
You have to protect your peace.
Because I have some friendships that in a certain phase in life is very much, and I did retreat actually, like and maybe not even fully intentionally, but I'm still friends with some of them today, and it's like, it's a beautiful friendship, but only because
that's exactly what I'm thinking. I'm like, I don't want it to make it as dramatic as like, oh, this is just not gonna work kind of thing, like a whole breakup. It's just like, I need to protect my energy right now, because I can just feel what the universe and what God has for me. I'm not making space for. I literally am not. It's like, it's irking my soul that there's so many people around me that are just not.
I think we're in a similar space in that right now. I think we're both just
like,
seeking out friendships. We're just seeking out friendships. I think that's also why I'm seeking out therapy. I just want someone who knows. I want someone who knows more than me.
No, literally. Yeah, I want someone I can learn from. I want someone that can inspire me. Literally.
And that's not even to say that for me specifically. That's not even to say that my friends. Because maybe this is something a me thing. Because I always view it on a scale of, what do you know and what do I know? Because someone will say something, I'll just be like, no, you're stupid. Yeah, you know what I mean? And that's not even what I'm saying in regards to my friends, but in regards to where I want to be, there's none of my friends or someone surrounding me that I'm just like, you could be that. I can replicate.
Yeah.
And that's what.
And you know what's weird? It's not even like I need to replicate, right? The thing that's hard to balance is, I think I just lost my thought.
Guidance, advice.
Yeah, I don't remember. But
anyway, this is a good segue into like community building and like everyone's seeking a little bit more.
Like I said, I don't feel like I know what like my full purpose is in life. I just know everything that's going on right now, everything that's happening.
Do people actually have an answer to that?
Does not sit. Yeah, but you said something earlier about like what you want to do in life or what you. I don't know what that is. I just know. I think about the fact that I'm literally only 26 years old. Like I have a whole life ahead of me that God can use me, and I have so much that I can do. And it's like, if I stay with the people and the environments and I would never get anywhere. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I have to really think about. The fact that I've only lived maybe a quarter of my life.
Are you going to live to 100?
I will.
I'm going to live to 102. I want to live in 3 centuries.
Amen. But, like, you honestly can't come with me to something. It's a waste of energy, it feels like, to appease situations that are literally not benefiting you.
I just want, this is like when you go to college, when everyone goes to college, it's like, you go make some friends and I'll go make some friends and we'll just bring our friends together. So like, you should not bring some Buddha fools to my place.
I have a question for you, and then I was thinking about this the other day, and then I have a question for you. I was thinking the other day, like, in the midst of, I saw a post that was talking about, it was a Muslim woman that was talking about just honestly how selfish it is to internalize all this stuff and then just say, you know, I feel sad, I feel blah, blah, blah. I feel this and I just can't consume it, blah, blah, blah. Instead of you to turn to, obviously she was referencing a lot, but I'm taking it personal and thinking about God and whatever, wherever your source of hope is. Just saying, instead of you to internalize that stuff and literally ask Allah to turn that hopelessness into strength, into mercy, into anything, to then turn around and help the people that actually need it more than you who are sitting here just feeling it.
It's like a wall.
Yeah. Instead of you to go and turn that into something good, you're just sitting here being very much selfish. Like, I'm using my own words.
Whatever.
But basically is the gist of what she was saying. But I was just thinking about like the fact that it's so hard to envision right now. But I genuinely pray and I genuinely see a life where, can you imagine when we're like grandparents, even just parents, a world where we have flipped things so upside down where it's like a utopia. It's like a place where we can't even envision right now, and it's gonna take more and more and more of the people who.
Can I be so honest? I was thinking this today at work. I'm so sorry, actually.
No, keep going because I was
thinking this today at work because I work with most people that are like twice my age,
older, yeah.
But I'll just say they're over 50.
Keep talking.
And just listen to them have this conversation, talking like.
Oh,
just do not want to retire, cannot even fathom my frame of thinking. And I'm just like, what? Because think about
yeah, they think you're
the
crazy.
general, bro. When I said I want to be debt free, I'm going to be, no, I am, but, I didn't even say I want to be, I said I'm going to be debt free. I will not do this. And she's like, I will.
Oh my God.
Let's not get into it.
Can I borrow your suitcase for Austin? Sorry. I just saw it under the bed, but it's smaller than mine. The purple, juicy bubbles.
That's my carry-on suitcase.
Yeah, sorry.
I don't think it's smaller than yours though.
My yellow one, it is.
The yellow one.
Yeah, it is.
But that's just carry-on. And no, that's fine. You can have it.
Yeah, either way.
What was I even saying? So like listening to them discuss, and I'm just like, you guys don't get it.
At all.
I've been reading articles about like people's perspectives on Gen Z working, and it's because we want work-life balance, and they cannot even fathom because
they can't even think
the
about
9 to 5 work week started with boomers.
And that's what I mean, but they just can't come with you. Some people cannot come
with you. No, but
you.
it's not even come with you. But in the same vein of you talking about what imagine a utopia of us living with, that's what it looks like when the people who created these structures, I don't want to, this sounds so messed up, but when they cease to exist. When they literally...
This is what I mean. I think this is where my brain was going with that, in terms of, that's why I don't necessarily have the answers as to why I have to retreat, and I don't have the answers for you to even have the conversation yet.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel right, right? It's going to take more of us being so innately pissed, angry, sad about what is going on in front of us and ignoring the nonsense around us to then just move without them.
Yeah.
You're going to be here. There's people in their 40s who think like that. You're thinking about the older people.
No.
There's people in their 40s who are going to get up. There's people who we've never even
they're not even thinking about this.
We think about the 80-year-olds that are in politics now. There's 40, 50, 60-year-olds who are waiting to take their positions. If we wait, we will be 75, 60, 80 until we see that change. If you want to wait for them to cease to exist, that is not in my brain possible, and I will not do it. What I'm going to have to do is retreat, reserve my energy, and put it towards what I think needs to happen. And hopefully there's enough people like that will change the course. hopefully when my kids get
Who we voted for?
Girl, the Democratic Party needs to bring me a new candidate.
The Democratic Party just needs to move to Republican, okay?
Immediately. Yeah, you might as well just say we're on the same team. Literally.
But this is what I was saying back when I was
12. No, but listen, the thing is, I feel like it is, I'm serious, it is going to take more of, like, the conversations are kind of connecting, because it is going to take more people. I see what you're saying, that they just don't get it. So it's like, what's the point of continuing to have the conversations? You're not going to convince them. You're literally not.
It's so painful.
And they just don't get it. And unfortunately, they're stuck in the system. The same system that we're stuck in that we don't like. They've been doing it longer, so it's cemented. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's ingrained in them to keep thinking that way and keep doing that. But I genuinely think about a system where we can, imagine talking to your grandkids, like where we're talking about what we were seeing on our phones when phones were created, when we were growing up, genocides. I'm scared. I don't know if I can say that on this camera. I keep saying crazy shit, and then I realize, remember, you guys are here. But
because you're spiraling.
Imagine we're grandparents, and we're talking to our grandkids about stories of stuff that we literally lived through, living in a whole different world. They've not even experienced that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? They haven't even had to witness that kind of thing. Whereas we can sit and kiki with each other, like, remember the days, remember this, and we can just die in peace.
But those are the
go through
Jesus.
Not die in peace, not just dramatic, but I'm saying, like, just kind of live life in your older days in peace, recognizing that you've done the work throughout your life to change the course of things. Because at that point, yeah, those people won't be there anymore. But you'll be at the stage where you can be doing better than they were at your time.
But you should absolutely, if you're not doing better than they were, you failed. But it's not so much about, I think, in regards to older people in general, the blanket statement is that you should never stop. You should never stop learning. You should never stop conversing with people my age, with people younger than me, with your grandkids and your kids.
They do all the time.
I know they do, because even it's just so insular, because even if you were to just talk within your family, that's not enough.
No, but listen, the thing is, they're talking all the time.
Listen,
we are not
sharing our actual opinions.
We're not sharing our actual opinions. We're coming home and being like, that's crazy what she said.
You just said that.
And they just get to go about their life, and we're carrying the burden. It's like when you're in a toxic relationship. You're carrying the burden of the person gaslighting you, doing all these different things, and you're like, you recognize it, you see it, you feel it for a long time. And then it's like,
that's like having a conversation with a stupid person. Like, you can't. How do you tell a stupid person?
That's a better example.
Like,
exactly.
They don't know.
No, but it is.
Then it's worse when they think they're smart.
It's not even like that though, because you can start to chip away at their mindset. It's the work that we have to do. I genuinely believe that you have to be unwavering in your opinions and your standpoint.
Okay.
To have those conversations. This is where you and I disagreed. Remember when we had that argument of like top to bottom versus bottom to top?
I think everything happens from bottom to top.
But then that's not what you're exhibiting then. If you're saying you can have these conversations with people, you can meet people, but then you're not gonna feel the need to like talk to them if you just disagree with them. You're like, you're just gonna have to die off. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be willing.
But that's
to have
different.
this
That's different for me. And when I say bottom to top, I'm talking about power structures. In terms of like human to human conversations, that's a different topic.
It's not though. To me, it kind of all connects. You're talking about power structures in terms of you guys mobilize, you can march together, but that's still connecting with people who are like-minded. You can still be bottom to top by communicating with people, like, what's the point of not doing both at the same time?
You are doing both at the same time.
Not always.
Like, when I'm saying a bottom to top power structure, I'm literally talking about the pyramid. Like, if I'm talking about the people in power that are stupid and idiots, the people that are on the streets marching, protesting, this is the bottom power structure,
mm-hmm.
enacting change.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all of our eyes on Palestine would not be happening, would not have any impact if this wasn't a mass. You know what I'm saying?
Of course, yeah.
Versus like when I'm talking to the boomers at your job, like, sure, you can do that.
You
should.
Like,
you
not
can
sure,
do that
you should
too.
be doing that.
But that's not like, because they're not going to be in the street.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, that you
change their perspective.
No, but why not though? That's what I'm saying, that those things are connected. Why not? They could
We're
one day
agreeing
be,
right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but they could one day be marching the streets, but they
mm-hmm.
should be having those conversations. We should be having those conversations. Not necessarily with the expectation of changing their mind, but at least to be able to feel open enough to disagree. Like, I don't actually agree with that, and then have the conversation, as uncomfortable as it might be. Whether it's marches or not, I don't know. I feel like all of it has to happen with enough people. Granted, or we're gonna wait generations for enough of us to be on the streets and beyond.
I don't know. I think we've disagreed on this in the past. Just because I feel like this might sound
like
egotistical. We're on the same page. But ultimately, like, it's just in my brain, in the Jane brain, I feel like I've known this my whole life. That's what it feels like. It feels like At least in the past couple decades, it feels like people are having these revelations where I'm just like, I feel like we should have all known what's morally right and what's morally wrong.
Do you feel like you're like tired?
I've been tired.
Because I feel like I am just now.
I just cry just the way you just asked me that.
I was gonna say because I feel like I'm becoming radicalized right now.
Yeah.
In the past 5 years. Yeah, like, I'm still in it, and I feel the anger right now. Whereas you have held the.
I've been raging since I was a youth.
Your rage has been literally what I was just thinking. Your rage has been stretched, and it's like I don't know.
And it's so messed up because I feel like in the midst of BLM, it was like, we need to learn how to be anti-racist. And I was sitting there like, maybe I should open a book, but I was like,
that's
no.
That's not your.
It's like, why would I? Okay, that's really interesting. And it just, and honestly, even just where we are right now with Palestine, I'm just like, what books were you guys reading during BLM? Did you actually read the books? Because why
is everyone quiet? Yeah, literally.
Did you actually read the book?
No, literally.
Like, I don't think you guys did any work. I think it was a joke. Literally. I think it was really But but you have to be optimistic. You have to believe that people are going in the right direction. Otherwise, then what's the point?
I don't think you have to. I think you have to take them for what they're doing.
I think you still hold them accountable, but you have to believe it. Because if you don't believe anything's going to change or anything's going to get better, then what's the point of this life?
Yeah, no, actually. No,
what's the point of it? But it's very much so this level of like, no, you have to wait for people to get where you are. I mean, you're still moving. Don't wait yourself.
I've literally never thought that. That's crazy. I've literally never thought about that because it does feel like we've always talked about this, or we haven't talked about this, the fact that we're having this like switch. And I've never thought about the fact that you.
So like literally, even in just this conversation, it's like I'm listening to you and I'm like, yes, you should be angry. You should, but Israel and Palestine is been in my brain. You know what I mean? Like, and even for me when I learned about it, I was like, why is because when I think I watched like is it Frank Green, their little history summaries, like I watched one of those and I was like, because the preface to Israel and Palestine has always been like, it's complicated, guys, like there's so much history, but like one video synopsis and it's just like, no, it's not that complicated. So like even in that, it's just exhausting. It's just like, how do you, to me, this is the years of me flip-flopping of like, I've always been very black and white, like this is right, this is wrong, and like I don't understand what's like, confusing about that. And not every, like, it's not that.
I think that's what's crazy to me, because it's like, even us growing up, we never had those conversations. Like during BLM, when I started,
BLM to me was like, that's adult. That was us in adulthood. We were not, but like we were grown.
But like even this Palestine conflict, like I am just now. I feel like I've always heard about. I haven't always heard about Palestine and Israel.
A lot of Jewish friends. I was thinking about all of the Jewish cultures I was exposed to. That's a new one. And even then, they'd still be friends of Jews.
But even then, even in hearing about this conflict. Or this, I should say, like occupation or whatever. I don't know if we've literally never had like conversations about, what would you call it? It's not even politics. Like,
I remember when Hillary was going against Biden. Hillary was against Trump, and I was raging at you about electoral colleges, and so we never have these conversations, because for me it would be like imagine facing the wrath of a 12-year-old. Yeah, because I would call you stupid to your face. I would be like, this is really dumb. You should have learned this in AP history like the rest of us, and formed an opinion.
I was thinking about. Wait, finish what you're saying.
But do you know why we never talked about this? Because I will just walk into the house, I'll tell mommy this is who you need to vote for, and then I'll leave. Like, versus when I have a conversation with you, I'm like, you're not gonna just listen to me and when you get to the ballot box. And I need you to listen to me so that everyone's on the same page.
Yeah, because I need to actually know.
Vex me. But imagine if everybody voted for Bernie Mac when I told them to do it.
He still wouldn't have won.
Yeah, why? Because the entire D collective said Biden it is, and then the rest of us had to suck it up.
Stupid.
Anyways, I think all of us adult women should just go collect the wrath we had in our youth.
But this is what I'm saying. I don't think a lot of people had that wrath. I don't think most people had that wrath and awareness that you did growing up. I think is the gist of what I'm thinking right now.
Okay.
Like, I think we've genuinely had, I remember a time where I literally said in school one time, this is crazy. I remember I said in school one time, this is how I knew we had just moved to like a predominantly white space. Because obviously all of what I was hearing was probably like nonsense white rhetoric, because I remember saying, I didn't know anything about the political parties, I didn't know much, but I literally remember saying to someone that I was like a conservative. Imagine, literally I literal jump scare when I thought about that in the car.
To be fair, my transition into like American politics, I thought all Democrats are black and all Republicans are white.
Bro.
And then Obama was elected, and I said that is correct.
My teacher literally said to me, I've never met a black Republican. That doesn't even exist.
Where did you say this? How old were you?
You know, I don't know timelines. I don't know ages. But it was we must have moved to our predominantly white space. I was young, stupid.
To be fair, you had a lot of beliefs that are aligned with conservative.
This is what I was gonna say.
That's also rooted in Christianity.
That's what I was gonna say. Everything that I'd heard about the parties was basically the traditional things that I knew about conservatism and I believed versus I didn't literally know, and I don't even know.
There's a lot
if at the time I knew what the other party.
A lot of Hispanic people are conservative. A lot of black people would be conservative if they weren't black. Does that make sense? They believe in some things.
But there's a reason why when you look at Congress, when you look at the Conservative Party, there's a whole slew of white men and one or two black men, one or two or three Asian men.
They're the next Bill Gates.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if the majority of people have been as aware as you have been growing up, as I have known you to be growing up, right? I personally, we've been talking about this. I feel like I've literally been switching to where once the awareness hits me, then I cannot feel anything but like anger and have the conversation.
Yeah.
Whereas for you, that's why I feel like I thought to even ask a question of like, do you feel tired? Like, I was just thinking about the fact that the anger that I'm feeling now for you has been years and years and years of stretch where you have been making little comments here and there, but we've never actually sat down until now that we're adults and had these conversations. Growing up, we didn't have these conversations, but I'm realizing you were learning and reading.
That we could be in. Yeah,
of course, but you were learning and reading and like digesting all this stuff where I was literally just trying to probably navigate a world as an African in this fucking crazy.
Literally, you're just trying to make a baby. That's okay.
Yeah.
But who is it? Like, is it friends? There's friends that I've had this conversation with, which I do need to give you your flowers for that, because like looking at my grade level, and you've said it before, right? And sure, there's a level of like, we are just X amount. We're these kinds of people. But even just 2 years removed, you guys were experiencing some other hard. Okay.
Wait, what do you mean?
Like, you were almost like, I don't want to say the crash test dummies, like, you kind of just had to fumble and stumble through, and we were just kind of like gliding, you know, just like, I don't like that. Versus you, like, think about the fact that you were the very first black homecoming queen, and then Sydney was the second. You know what I mean? It's just like, you think you're going to be popular if you're telling those white people about themselves? If you were really just telling them about themselves.
I was literally just thinking as you were saying that there it feels like there's value in that, and like even though you were certain, like it feels like this inflection point that we're reaching, there's value in us.
We could not have had these conversations
at all.
Now, were we having them? Imagine we had a lengthy.
Saying full names in this. I just realized.
I said
it's okay. Yeah, that's okay.
That's not a full name.
Yeah, but like whatever.
But because you think about the conversations that we kind of like teetered on, we like kind of touched on,
like what?
And then I hung up the phone and I said, I don't know.
Oh wait, give an example. Oh, my relationship conversations. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Like we cannot, the conversations we're having now, we absolutely cannot have.
We could not
have delved into
what
them.
Do you think? What do you think is different now?
I think what's different now is back then.
There was times where we would touch on conversations, we've gone to different lengths of them, but we would never, even now when we have conversations that are uncomfortable, we can finish them. We can talk through, like, I disagree fully with what you're saying, but I can still shut up and listen. Because
before, I feel like we were playing hee-hee. It was like you could say something bad, something bonkers, and then we have to just like be like, I know it's like, I know her heart, I know what like I would always, like, at the very least in our upbringing of I was playing hee-hee.
Okay, I was gonna say.
I think
because I was so
I was playing hee-hee.
I was so for real with the nonsense that I was saying.
I know. I'm aware. That's why we didn't finish the conversation. Because
I fully remember the conversation in my relationship.
I hung up and I complained to everyone. I've never talked. I was Kim that I said we have group chats and we talk about you. I had to go talk to my roommate. I had to go talk to my ex. I said, I'm stressed, guys. Like,
no, what's crazy is though I know, even though I know, that's a joke actually. Like
I know now,
but I know even then, even you talking to your friends, you were never like talking. You definitely could not have been talking bad about me. No, you were just like my sister probably is not in a place that I don't like. My sister is losing it.
Exactly,
and it has to be losing it.
Those are why.
Because when I think back to the stuff that I was talking to at the time,
I know. I'm aware.
We actually need to dive into it. We can talk about what we were talking about.
We can discuss? Okay. Yeah. We were basically, I think we were just talking about misogyny and like men in general. But like, hold on, I was going somewhere with this. The gist of that is like, at the root of even those conversations where we're like, I'm like, whatever you just said. I had to even, because we would end all of our conversations like, I know at the root of it, we agree. Mm-hmm. And it's like, it's also rooted in like the way we grew up. Like even as kids, we were like total ends of the spectrum. Mm-hmm. Just like it's so wild how you can have the same upbringing and like different perspectives and different experiences and different outcomes. So like even in that, we would always end our conversations like, we agree. Yeah. But for me, the reason we can now get to a conclusion in the conversation is because like I'm like, Jane, I can't, and again, it's the bandwidth. It's like how thin am I stretched? I'm like, if I can't even talk to you, I know for sure I do not have the patience for Boo Boo the Fool down the road. Like, I'm like, we had all of the same ingredients. Why would you say that to me?
And you know what I think is so weird about even those conversations we have to have and we had to have, and what feels so different now. You've always been the kind of person who can't have those conversations, whereas I could have that conversation with people who are completely different from me, and I will fight to the death.
And I think that's why it was so triggering. Yeah. I'm like, if you need to understand this, so then you can go help them, because it's not going to be me.
But what's different is I'm genuinely the person, you know this, who has to experience it. But you being the person who cannot conversate it.
That's it.
It left me in a space of like, I just disagree with what you're saying, and then I had to experience it to be like, okay, damn, I get it.
You got it. You just explained that in 5 sentences that I could not even get. You had to experience it.
I had to. So for me, it doesn't make sense.
You're right. For me, I'm sitting here frustrated. I'm just like, why did everyone get this at 12? Yeah. Why didn't you figure it out?
Yeah.
But we would not have these conversations if you did.
Whereas I'm the kind of person who has the bandwidth to be able to communicate and explain in different ways. Whereas you're like, you're stupid.
Me running from the gaslighting?
Yeah.
I do not have the bandwidth to experience
you're stupid.
I will be traumatized if I experience it. I don't need to learn that lesson.
Literally. And sometimes I'm like, I wish I was like that. I remember when I ended my relationship, I was like, I wish I was able to just like see a situation and leave. But I'm not. I can't be like that. I'm not created that way for a reason.
That's the advice you gave me. You said, Jane, and because I, my first friendship breakup ever, because I got into the space where I was like super like, I began to like second guess my judgments and like the way I would move and the way I would behave. You were like, Jane, the one thing you have for you is like your gut reaction or like the way you feel about it. So just like make the decision and figure out why you felt that way later. You don't need to, And I've been really holding on to that for a couple months. Just been like, you're right. Because I will make the decision. I'll be like, but like, maybe you're a nice person. Maybe this is it. But I'm just like, Jane, imagine you stayed for the several months to then figure out why you felt that way.
I think about that so much when I think about the fact that we've literally been in the same length of a relationship, basically. Except you knew so early on that this wasn't it. We had so many conversations, the same conversations of you being like, This is what feels weird. This is what feels weird. So to a certain extent, you do also have to experience it, but your gut tells you early. It's just about whether you can stick with it. Yeah, you can find out later that it's right or wrong, but it's like I quite literally don't know at the beginning. I may or may not have a iffy feeling, whereas your gut is telling you.
I've been gaslighting myself in the past couple of years that I'm being judgmental.
But you might be, but what can you do about that? The judgment came for a reason.
It came from like the ingredients.
I've been feeling that recently, to be honest. I'm like, I might be judgmental, but it's like,
but that's not your husband. That's not your.
What can you do about that?
You're right.
You can stop. Maybe you can stop judging out loud, but it's like if my brain says
I don't judge out loud, but it's just like, but.
If your brain says it, what am I gonna do about that?
With dating, with relationships, even in like trying to find friendships, it's like, oh, you don't like them. Then how do you? Because okay, I'll say this: I've been on one Bumble BFF date, where I'm just like trying to find friends. I'm starting a book club, so
is this the one that you were telling me about?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's this space of like you can almost kind of guess or like assess someone's vibe, but then with friends specifically or platonic relationships, it's like just feel it out, see what happens. But like then when you go on a date with someone and it's like, this is not what I'm looking for in a partner, you can just be like, sorry.
Yeah.
But with friends, it's very much like, I don't like you.
Yeah.
Like I don't think we are compatible as people.
I don't think I could do
You just have to ghost. You generally have to ghost. So that's one of those things where you just like you kind of.
That's what it is. I really got to do naturally.
Yeah, because there's nothing I can say to you.
It sucks.
I don't like your personality. Like, what is that? What do you say to that?
And there's so many, even friends that I have now, I'm like, would I have been friends with you if we hadn't met naturally? I don't know if I'd know who you are or like you if we wouldn't have met in person.
I have a friend that said like when she's seeking out friendships on like Bumble BFF or like just finding friends, she kind of does do it in a way of like who are the friends I like or admire, and then like kind of looking for those personalities, if that makes sense. But I don't know how you assess that on a phone.
Not only how do you assess that, but it's like, do you also want to limit yourself just to those kinds of people that you...
No, but it's the people you...
have already experienced.
Yeah,
but it's like you're still sticking to like what you know versus
but that's
why not challenge yourself? That is, but you can challenge yourself to like get to know and experience different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
My problem is I'm trying to make more black female friends, and
literally
same,
bro.
Some of them are weirdos, but I like
really?
you know when you see those like I saw a TikTok a while back of like I think all the black girls who grew up in predominantly white spaces should just get together and be friends.
No.
I couldn't disagree more.
Absolutely.
I think that's the worst thing you could have ever said.
Absolutely not.
But that's
no.
That's what it feels like on Bumble BFF, and I feel like yeah, because I'm just like the black people I've encountered. I'm just like I want someone we can kiki or laugh together. Again with the how you felt when you were younger. Sure, I grew up in predominantly white spaces. I didn't need to learn that lesson. Like I don't want to have a conversation about how you hate yourself enough that you're dating outside of your race because you hate yourself. You know what I mean? Like we can talk about interracial dating.
I was just gonna say,
but I can't meet you here.
I was just gonna say because there's a weird nuance with like being black, growing up in predominantly white spaces that sometimes it can veer.
I need you to be out of the sunken place. Like, that's what I need.
Yeah, it can veer on the side of like white supremacy still has a chokehold on you.
It's like if I wanted to have this conversation, I could have just been. I could go to a white person.
It's like
even my white friends.
But it takes a level of like. I don't know. It takes a level of literally dragging yourself out of that headspace, learning differently, learning to like radical self-love, radical like understanding to empathize with the people around you. And it's like
there's this level of this is a realization. I think I came back and I talked about it. But it's also like, not that it's my responsibility, right? But with a black person like that, who's gonna help that?
That's why I said it started with radical self-love. It's not about, and that's just the weird thing about, I feel like we as black women, quite literally, and we've talked about this before, we quite literally do not have anyone to look to learn from. We don't have anyone who, we have each other, but it's like all of us are still, to a certain extent and on average on the same playing field. We're still kind of navigating different things in the same like, dare I say, like stratosphere, right?
You like we're all. Your phone so then we knew how long we'd be talking. Let's see. When did we start them?
I have no idea. The crazy thing is, I have to pee soon, so we're gonna have to.
Okay, we can wrap this up soon.
Yeah. Yeah, because we're rambling, and this way we can have this conversation by ourselves. Sorry. But there is a level of, there's no blueprint for us. Do you know what I'm saying? Whereas like,
I said this in, again, sorry to reference Viola again, but I love you. But actually, I don't love you anymore. She was on that list.
Hurts. Oh, she was.
It really just. However, she said something along the lines of like, it's very difficult to create something for yourself when you have nothing to look.
No example. And that's where I feel like it's hard. It really is hard, obviously, from our standpoint, because we talk about this a lot. Like you don't have, you can talk to people and gather inspiration from.
But in terms of what you want to do,
but you can't look to people to replicate. You literally cannot. You can see what they have done that may or may not work for you, but it more than likely will not work for you because you could take the same steps and you'll have the same, the opposite result. Like it's just will never work. So what you're saying is my therapist will not be able to tell me what to do. That's what I'm saying. You could even find an African American and African therapist. It's like they can give you the clues, right? But you still have to fill that gap between what they're telling you and what you need.
I need them to guide me to the revelations.
But we have the privilege of almost being at the bottom of the totem pole to be able to see and just like experience and witness what everybody else is doing and basically doing and learn from it, because nobody gives us a chance. It's not even like nobody gives us a chance, but it's like
it's just you, babe, figure it out.
It's just you. Nobody's gonna give you an idea.
Bro, I can't wait till we're both married. Until we have our little kiddos, babes. You can. You're right. Relax. Yeah. You're over here projecting our grandchildren. You can relax.
Yeah.
You're skipping some stages.
Wait,
but it's gonna be beautiful. In the meantime, I'll be hosting.
It really is. I actually think about that a lot. Like when we're older, it's kind of not crazy now, but it's like the point that we're at now feels like literally just the start.
It is.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like we're literally only in our 20s. Imagine when we're like 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line. Life is gonna be sweet.
Ready to shake things up.
Life is gonna be sweet, literally.
Ready to shake it up.
But
ready to have imagine the depth of the conversations we'll have.
Literally, imagine the developments that we will have, quite literally. And even being at the point now where regardless of what we're both experiencing, regardless of what we're both thinking, we can literally just say, this is how I feel. You're kind of annoying, you're kind of stupid. I don't agree, but at least I can talk to you about it. Whereas I feel like our whole lifetime we have not. We've just been experiencing, and we've been there together.
I've always used to say, if Sandra wasn't my sister, she would not have been my friend.
Yeah,
I would not have been friends
at all. And you say that all the time, and I'm like, ew.
No, but think about who I know. But think about who you were in high school. No, so literally. If I didn't have this inside perspective of who you were as a person, I would have been like,
you would have been gone.
That girl.
Jane tried to cut me off one time.
It was just jokes, guys. It was literally
it was not jokes. It was not jokes. Jane literally wrote in her journal she was ready to cut me off as a sister. Can you imagine?
And that's the extent to which if you think I was gonna write that about you when I say you need to cut some friends, I'm not playing.
No, that's what I'm saying. This was like
it's very about like some things are.
This is
I was gonna cut her as a sister. You know how you know that means every single friend has at one point been on the chopping block. Every single one of them.
I forgot what I was saying earlier that made me think of that, but the fact that we've been so when you're talking about the friends thing and seeking friends that who you are already kind of used to, it's like you said with me.
That was just
if you were not my sister, you would not be friends with me.
No, but think about and then pursuing friendships. You would be like, oh, Jane, I like these X things about Jane. I'm compatible with.
But if you were not forced, if you did not have to be with me, you would not seek out people who are like me.
Yeah.
You would not recognize that you're compatible with people who are like me, and same vice versa. People who are like you, literally, we're so opposite in almost every way.
Mm-hmm.
If we didn't have 26 years of me,
but I've grown
4 years.
You know what I mean? Like,
that's what I'm saying. So it's like, who's to say that when you're not compatible with someone early on, that you can't grow to then learn from that person? Do you know what I'm saying?
But when I was sitting there saying I would not have been your friend is where I was when I was 12. Like I still stand 10 toes down to that. I would not have been friends with you.
I think the way my brain is thinking about it, in that there's still value in the people who you do not connect with, who you do not understand, who you do not think the same way as. I think that's where we've always been different. I can literally talk to people who do not have one similar opinion that I do, and I can still have a conversation with them. Whereas you quite literally are like, I just don't get what you're saying. You're
stupid. Can I be honest? This is why I'm like, I don't think I'm as rigid in that stance today. Because when I was a kid, like I believed that too. Like I literally thought I was gonna be the one that was gonna like really just like really hold these conversations with people. But somewhere in college, I said, good luck. You go have those conversations with your coworkers. I'm gonna be getting my degree. Like that's cute. So like I get that perspective. I'm not as rigid as I was when I was 18 to be like, no, good luck to them. I actually don't care. I think there's absolute value in having those individual conversations. Fine. I don't know where I was going with this. We were talking about friendships.
Mm-hmm. And value in like people who you don't think the same as.
Yeah, I think that's the same thing as like living in a bubble. You don't want to live in an insulated bubble, like, but. So they're sitting in some conversations where I'm just like, this conversation is more valuable to you than it will ever be to me.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily mind that.
Yeah,
like that to me is motivation. That to me is fine. Like,
you do
keep
that.
Listening. Yeah.
Do that.
Open your ears.
Clean the wax
out. Get the insects and the bugs outside of there.
You just want me to oh my god. Okay, let's wrap this up, guys. We need to go.
Damn, I wish I could put this
back. You can't put it back. You poured yourself that full glass to the brim. Get ready.
That's crazy.
I feel like there's stuff I haven't told you about this week because I tried to withhold it all
that's
to
what I'm
this
saying.
and
Like, now we have to
some things I really need to
think about it. Do you have something
give you the
need to
full
say?
government
You
name.
need to say right now because we're gonna have to. I have to pee though, so you might have to start talking.
Okay, no, don't say goodbye to the people before you go pee. Okay, guys.
Guys,
First real episode.
the brassiere is off.
Thank you for sticking with us.
Actually, yeah, guys,
Oh,
this was probably a little bit chaotic. Who
Yeah.
knows? We'll watch it back and let you know, or you'll watch it with us and we'll talk about it. But thanks for joining us.
If you made it all the way here,
Sister Sit Down with Sandra
and Jane, we need a thumbnail picture.